Alright guys, welcome to Programming in a Minute, and today we're going to be talking about the difference between runtime and compile time. Now, compile time is essentially the time period in which the code within the program is being converted into machine code for the machine to understand the instructions that are within the code, while the runtime is essentially the machine enacting those instructions that lie within that the code. So a better way to understand this is, let's look at this example. Here there is system.out.println, which is essentially the print command, print command that's within Java, and logically this should print, right? Well, obviously not logically with this error symbol next to it, but let's press play. Okay, so was this a compile time error or a runtime error? Now, this was actually a compile time error, despite what you may have been thinking. The reason why this is a compile time error is that the code or the machine, Java is not a language in which this can be converted and the machine can understand it. Compile time is essentially when, once again, the machine takes the code and converts it into machine code for the machine to understand. This cannot be converted into machine code within a Java framework. Therefore, this is a compile time error. Now, if I added this, now it actually worked. There's no error and it prints out LOL. Now, the question you may have to be asking is, what just happened here, and where was the runtime in this whole sequence between me adding the semicolon and then pressing play? Essentially me pressing play after the semicolon. Now, the runtime actually happened right after the last command. It actually happened as soon as I pressed play, and then after the last command occurred, right? You may be asking, okay, so if that happens, if the runtime happened here, did the runtime occur here with the compile time error? No, the runtime did not occur, right? First and foremost, before the runtime, within Java, before the runtime can occur, the compile time has to occur and complete successfully. Due to the fact that this could not be converted into machine code that the machine could understand, means that there were no instructions that could be executed by the machine, because the machine would not be able to understand the code that it converted, essentially, right? Due to the fact that this could not be converted into a code that the machine could understand, means that there is no instructions that the machine could understand and enact in the first place, meaning that there was no runtime, right? So does this mean that there's no runtime errors? No, there are definitely runtime errors, but those are quite different, right? For example, if I were to say 1 plus 1 int 1, because this is statically typed. If I were to say I equals 1, I don't know why I did that, and then I say I plus I, and then after that I say notice how there's no error message anywhere here. This is because this is an understand or convertible statements within Java, within the framework of Java, right? So if I were to press play, would there be an error? Now, note that there's a divide by 0 here. This is the results in an undefined value mathematically. So press play. Look, there's an error. Now, was this compile time or runtime based on the information that I've given you previously? This is actually a compile time. I'm playing. It's a runtime error. Now, this was convertible. This was successfully convertible by within the Java framework, but it still resulted in an error due to the fact that dividing by 0 is undefined. This is an example of a runtime error, and runtime errors occur when essentially the code is convertible, right? All of these were convertible values. It fits within the syntax of the language, but it's still not possible to derive a valid result from it. You can also find this in examples like a null pointer exception, in which it's also possible to convert it into a machine code. But while the machine is enacting the actions that essentially converted and now understands within the code, it's unable to, due to usually just logical issues within the code. So keep that in mind, and thank you for watching.